Morpheus is fighting Neo! Hello and welcome to the Hollywood Fishbowl. My name is Jesse and I am the creative director over at Sunshine Pictures. I got it right this time. We are joined today by
Ryan Shukis.
Welcome to the program. It's so good to have you. Don't worry, the music's about to burn now. We got 11 seconds left. Anything you want to get in before that time is up?
Yeah, Morpheus and Neo are really going at it right now.
Oh, no, they're nuts. His neurokinetics are off the charts. Look at this. And Morpheus is done fighting Neo. Hello, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good.
It's good to have you on. What's up? Here's the thing is, I love asking the worst question possible. So if I can, this one, I've never seen anybody nail the dismount on this question. How would you like to frame yourself?
I am a reasonable, humorous, polite gentleman.
You nailed the dismount on that one. You are truly legend, sir. And let's talk. Well, let's before we get too deep into it, I'd like to first welcome the audience and explain to them a little bit about what's going to go down on this program. Hollywood Fishbowl is a collection of the fine folks that I run into in Holding. Now, Holding is where they put all the extras, all the background extras. The restaurant goers that you see in the backgrounds of movies, we're all people too. So they hold us in extra, a lot of chatting happens, and then you meet some really fun and vibrant people. I want to bring them over and introduce them to the world through this podcast. Now, nothing is ever that simple. What we've got in the middle of the table is the Hollywood Fishbowl, which is actually a fishbowl filled with different conversation topics, different directions that this podcast can go. Either one of the members of this podcast have the right to ring the bell. When the bell is rung, this segment we're in is over, and we pull a new topic out of the fishbowl. It's a blind pull. Whatever we get, we get. Even more fascinating, I know you're at the edge of your seat already, even more fascinating than all that is every guest will put 2, 3, 4 different pieces of paper into the Hollywood Fishbowl. So the longer this podcast goes on, the less it will be mine. The more out of control it gets, the more topics and the more different directions the conversation can go. And the fewer and fewer of them are mine. The percentage of my influence on this will decrease over time. Isn't that fantastic? So the way I like to kick it off is to have just a little bit of a chit chat with the guest. I met you on
Wine Country.
Wine Country, starring Amy Poehler. Mm-hmm. You remember I called you a week ago and said we met on Wine Country starring Amy Schumer. And I was wrong. Yep. I was so confident in that. I looked it up on IMDb, and you were absolutely correct. So let's chuck the speaking over to you a little bit. What should they know about you?
I am I come off as a very simple person, but deep down,
that's what I thought when I first met you. Was what a simpleton! I could tie this guy's shoelaces together and he'd fall right over.
I like to drill in front of people sometimes. Now, I do a lot on the side, but my approach is always very whimsical and very simple, and I love just doing anything to get people to laugh. That
was wildly helpful. You were one of the first people I met on Holding. That was my first day of work was Wine Country. Mm-hmm. So getting to know you and you were very vibrant, very alive on set, and it kept the energy up through 2 very, very long days. So I was really grateful for that, and that was what inspired me to invite you on.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get into you. Where are you from? Where are you going?
I'm from a little place called Cherry Valley, New York, which is in central upstate New York, which is 20 minutes away from the Baseball Hall of Fame.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
I have. It's really boring.
Oh, please tell us. We have music for boring stories if you're about to get into it. We would go to Ithaca growing up.
Ithaca, yep. That was about 2 hours away from me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Do you know the cafe with the frog motif that isn't around anymore?
I think so. It's been a few years since I've been there, but my roommate actually grew up there, so she would know it better. But okay. I've heard of that.
Okay, because... Oh, I got to cue up the boring story. I'm about to hit you with a real dull one. Is it okay if I hit this?
I am ready.
So when I was growing up, I was but a wee lad in this world, and my mother, recently divorced, she wanted to do something special for us every summer. So she'd take us up camping to Ithaca, New York, and on the way home, we'd stop by at that Frog Cafe and have a good hearty meal. And it's just a precious memory from my childhood. And thank you for bringing it up.
You're welcome.
All right, let's turn off the boring story music.
Must be in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah. No, we got more music that's like from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Don't worry. So what brought you out to L.A.?
I've always wanted to be an actor. I'm very much an actor and a writer, but
Drama club kid?
yeah,
What'd
very
you
much.
do? What'd you do in high school?
In high school, so my first play was a Christmas.
Were you Puck?
Oh, I was not.
Okay, please. I will stop interrupting. Continue the.
My first play was A Christmas Carol, and I played Gentleman Like Two. And from there, I did musicals. I did South Pacific. I did Grease. Believe it or not, in Grease, I played Eugene.
Okay, I don't know which one Eugene is.
He's the nerdiest, the dorkiest.
Oh, okay,
of the
okay.
dork.
I can see.
Really
that.
tight pants and a big bow tie. And
Okay.
it was a surprise casting for me.
That no, never mind. That was a different story, and I'm not going to tell it. So please continue. Any others?
And that was and we just did 80s plays. But in college, I did dinner theater. I did a play called Mousetrap, which was essentially like Clue. It was a murder mystery.
Okay.
I played Mr. Paravicini, who was a French foreigner. I played the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. And at one point, we did the Laramie Project, and I played 11 characters.
That's quite a few. How many characters are there in the Laramie Project?
There's like 25 or so. We had a small cast.
You had 2 actors?
Yeah, very much. I think
drew the names out of a hat, and you were stuck with what you got.
Literally was a point where people were helping me change costume because I couldn't do it myself because I needed to change so fast.
That is awesome. I'm imagining, like a Robin Williams style comedy where you have your earrings on for the wrong scene and then you have your suit on for the wrong scene.
Drinking scotch at the wrong time.
Yep. What role did you not play that broke your heart?
The role I didn't get to play.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that really broke my heart was I wanted to play Danny Zuko in Grease in high school, but then they gave me Eugene, and I hated it at first. But when I started playing Eugene, I realized he's the funnest character in the entire play. You can have the most fun with them and do the most, unlike the other ones who were pretty short-sighted.
There was, what was it, Bye Bye Birdie?
Bye Bye Birdie, yep, that's right.
Josh Orlando got the part I wanted, which was the brother of the family.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The problem was, first of all, that I'm not good at acting, and the other problem was I am completely tone deaf. So I actually agree with the casting director's choice to not invite me into a major.
How dare they for not casting you?
I agree, and I still. Well, okay, look, I don't bear a grudge against the casting director, but I do bear a grudge against Josh Orlando. So if he's listening, man, I still got a chip on my shoulder.
I do remember those people who take the part away from you. Yep, just get ingrained.
Did you do the spelling bee when you were a kid?
I didn't know.
Okay, because you will never forget the word you lose on.
Oh, that's right.
Gizzard.
Oh my God.
2 Z's. Wouldn't you know it?
Yeah, that's right. I always thought it was 1 Z.
Nope. Let me save you heaps of embarrassment in front of a crowd. 2 Z's.
So you wake up at 2 a.m. going gizzard. 2 Z's.
Yep. Not only did I mega lose that one, but then my biology teacher the next day, she was like, "Oh, that was so disappointing. I thought you'd know gizzard."
I just thought you were an intelligent lad, but you're in the stupid category.
Yep, she just couldn't let it rest. So then you do the high school, you do the college. When did you get out to LA? How long have you been here? You a fresh face?
Yeah. I've only been here in June. It'll be 2 years.
Okay.
After college, I moved to New Jersey, which is where my father lives, and I lived with him. And from New Jersey, I commuted to New York City, and I took acting classes.
Your parents split, or?
Yeah, they split when I was 6 months old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
No, it's not. It's funny to read Dinosaur Divorce at 5. And not get it.
Wait, they were supposed to be together?
Yeah, for a long time, I'm just like, parents are always separate.
Yeah, that's just how it is. No, mine split when I was 2, so it was just it's how it is.
It is.
You're fine.
Honestly, it's for the best.
Yeah,
it's weird to think I can't imagine my parents together.
Yeah, well, why? How could you?
Exactly.
Have you had a dinner with them though? Like, I mean, have they all sat down? Yep. The 3 of you.
My high school graduation and my college graduation.
Only child?
No, I'm one of 7.
That's a lot of.
So
be one of
1 blood brother, 2 stepbrothers, 2 half sisters, and 1 stepsister.
I'm too much math. Should I get out a calculator?
Seriously.
This is
prior to 95. It was just me and my brother Tom.
Okay.
And then my mom married my current stepdad, who was already divorced with 3 kids.
You good with him?
Yeah, I've known him since I was 3.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's a long time. And has he been dating your mom since you were 3, or was it
He's
something
been
later?
married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And they just started making kids that much longer, that much later.
I know, right?
That's
What's
awesome.
fascinating was later on in my life, I learned that my mom and my father were high school sweethearts, and they broke up when my mom went to college in St. John Fish in Rochester, and that's where she met my stepdad, Chris, and they dated for a while, but they broke up, unfortunately, because he cheated on her and got a woman pregnant. That woman he got pregnant, he ended up marrying, having 3 kids. My mom came back to New Jersey, got all upset, and my father married her, had me and my brother, and then she went through a divorce, and my stepdad went through a divorce with his wife, and they both just found each other again
That's
after all these
awesome.
kids, and they've been married ever since.
When it's right, it's right. Eventually it becomes right.
Exactly.
So let it be.
Talk about destiny.
As the Grateful Dead said, let it be. Let it be. I'm pretty sure that was them.
I think so.
So what was the point? Where are we going with all this?
Oh yeah, so
It's 1 of 7. Are you youngest? Oh, you're oldest.
I'm the middle.
You're the.
I'm right in the middle.
This is so much math. This is like way beyond what I can
So
do.
there's the oldest is my stepsister Caitlin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caitlin.
And then there's my stepbrother Brian. Then my
Listening screenwriters, here's a list of names that you can use for your script.
Oh yeah.
Caitlin, Brian,
You know, right. And then my blood brother Tom.
Tom.
Then my stepbrother John by only a few months. Then me, and then my 2 half sisters that were both born in the same year.
Okay, but not twins.
Not twins, and not
Not
related
from the same
at all.
human. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and not from the same mother. I guess
Nope.
there
Yeah,
must be some
exactly.
human related.
It's interesting how my 1 half sister is from my father, and my other half sister is from my mom, but they love getting along, but they have no blood relation.
That's fine. There's your biological family, and then there's your logical family, and you guys have more overlap than most in the logical family department,
Exactly.
like the family that you make and not the family that you're born with.
All I know is I'm keeping it simple in my life.
Do it. So you moved to New Jersey.
I did.
Then you moved to New York, or you're just commuting into New York?
I kind of commuted because it
Okay.
was kind of cheap to live in New Jersey and commute. And I took acting classes, and I ended up doing a play in New Jersey and a showcase in New York City at the same time.
What was the play?
The play was Big. You know, in the movie with Tom
Yeah,
Hanks,
yeah.
Big? Well, they had a musical, and I played the
Oh,
villain.
okay.
Yeah.
Do they do the chopsticks in the musical?
They do,
Okay,
yeah.
good. That would be completely
Actually,
unacceptable if they don't do
believe
chopsticks.
it or not, that was a tough thing for the actors to learn. I was there
'Cause you
for
have to
them.
do it.
Yeah.
You can't just...
And like get it right too.
Yeah.
You can't just like improv it.
Yeah.
But when that play ended and the showcase ended, both teachers, the teacher and the director, both said the same thing to me, and they said, if you want to do what you want to do, you got to move to LA.
Okay.
So I visited.
And you didn't get suspicious that they were just trying to get rid of you.
I know. I didn't. They were just that great of teachers.
is Antarctica. You got to be in Antarctica. Just go there.
Gotta go. I got the penguins have the answers.
So they told you to get your butt to Los Angeles.
Did. I visited.
You got on the next Greyhound.
I have a friend who's my roommate now, and I visited her. I stayed here a week, and after that week, I managed to make a transfer through the job I had, and I moved within a few months, and I've been here ever since.
So here comes the raison d'être of this podcast is like if there are people listening who want to get into this party, how do you get into this party?
Through acting itself.
Like how do you get it? How did you get your start in LA? What groundwork should somebody be doing in the first month, 6 months? Like how do you kick it off?
What's interesting is that everyone has to go their own path. Like I did. When I transferred. I used to work for a car auction company called Copart. Mm-hmm. And I transferred for that. And I did it for a year, and then I quit. The best thing ever was I quit, because then I actually started acting. And really, it's background work. Once you start doing background work, all the questions I've ever had about acting and such have been answered by background actors. Because it's just, they're the best resource for information.
And let's talk a little bit about how you might get into background work. Because I think it's something that was absolutely invisible to me until I got here.
That's true, yeah.
And then once
Me
you're
too.
here, it's like, this is just what you do.
It's the easiest job you can get in LA.
I think it's the easiest job you can get on planet Earth.
I think so.
Like the only thing that could compete is working in like the stacks of a library, but they don't give you free food all day. So this is like,
oh my God,
even a little bit easier than working in a library.
It's funny how background people complain. There are complaints, but to be honest with you, it's an awesome gig.
Yeah. So you went to Central?
Yep, I went to Central, and from there I went to Central last September, and from there I've been doing background ever since. Yeah.
You haven't been doing it that long.
Yeah, and I got 4 union vouchers.
Why did you stick so long with the car auction? That's completely unrelated.
You know, it's funny because it was really stable, and it was really, I had got like $15 an hour, and I had health insurance.
Okay, and, I can see that.
I was trying to do acting on the side, but that car auction was taking up 45 hours of my week.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where the boss was getting difficult and the work was getting difficult, so I just up and quit. And best decision of my life. It was scary, and it was definitely something like no parent would recommend.
Yeah.
There's something about losing everything and kicking yourself back up.
Yep. Do you feel like you're back up already? I mean, how long did it take from the quit to when you felt like you were standing again?
It took a good 5 to 6 months.
Really?
What happened was when I quit Copart, I went to another job as a junior video editor on Trailer Park on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
It was a great, prestigious job, most money I ever made. But
Does Trailer Park have high turnover? It seems like
I think so.
I see their name coming up in the want ads a lot.
Yeah. I believe they do. I was only there for 30 days.
Yeah. That's high turnover.
Yeah,
That's
it was an unfortunate part of a year ago. I had Copart and I quit Copart, and I was like, I'm gonna be this junior video editor, and I actually was getting ready to put aside acting. And I was like, I'm gonna be a video editor. This is what I'm gonna do. And for 30 days, I cut King Arthur, Power Rangers. I got to see the movies before they came out.
The Power Rangers. That was a very good use of. Oh wait, sorry. I'm still adjusting to not liking Kanye West anymore.
I know, right?
It's such a bummer. It's so sad to lose him. Did you hear the new track, the Poop Diddy Whoop?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
Poop Diddy Whoop.
We'll load that up towards the end. His new single is Pure Fire. It's 5 Alarm Star Chili.
It sounds like a Winnie the Pooh song. Poop Diddy Whoop.
We'll load it up. Don't worry. And no, here's the thing. Kanye, like, he was an idiot. From the beginning, he was an idiot, but his music was amazing.
Yeah.
Now he's completely an idiot, and when you hear the new track, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, we can boycott him now."
Now it finally fits.
Anyway, so you were cutting trailers. I did like the Power Rangers trailer.
That's what I learned also about the industry. So it's a competition for trailers. So what they do is all these companies cut a trailer and they all send it in, and it's like the lottery. And the movie studio chooses one, and that's the trailer that gets put out. The editor is never credited.
Get paid nothing.
Nobody gets anything.
Okay.
But I believe the company just gets money for the trailer. That's it.
Whoever wins the bid gets the money for the trailer, and
that's
everyone
how every
else.
trailer goes. So I was essentially a lottery ticket in that I'd make trailers, I'd send it to them, and they'd send it out, and they'd see if they get taken and such. But for what I knew, none of my trailers were picked up.
Did you cut the one with the Kanye song? No one man should have all this power?
I believe I did have access to that song, though.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, I would have jumped right on it. If I had that song to cut to, I would be definitely selling out.
I know, right? But that job was a devastating point in my life because it was 30 days exactly, and I literally got a phone call in my office. It's hard to believe I had an office. And I had a big chalkboard on the wall, and I missed that. I could just draw on the entire wall.
Yeah.
I used to draw a big portal, and I'd just be saying, trying to get away from reality. I think people thought I was insane.
Sounds like a not your dream job.
Not exactly.
When you're drawing interdimensional exits in your office, it's time to.
Why can't I go through? But I got a call from the secretary saying the president Michael wants to talk to you. Can you step in his office? And I got nervous because I hadn't talked to him in a month since I was hired. So I got up, walked into his office. The moment I walked into his office, he said, "So your computer and your key card have been deactivated. You can't go back."
His choice?
Yep, his choice. The moment I walked in, apparently all that was deactivated. He's like, you can use the elevator to get out of this building, but you can't get back in. And that's
very
essentially
fair. 30 seconds notice, I think, is standard in the industry for any dismissal from a job.
And that's how I found out. And I was like, home at 3 p.m. and like I was a tour guide for 3 months.
Which lot?
What do you mean?
Oh, which studio? Were you a studio tour guide or?
I was tour guide for bikes and hikes in West Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
I did a Griffith Park tour and I did a 32-mile bike tour.
What should I know about Griffith Park? What's like the most fascinating thing? I know Terminator and Transformers were filmed at the observatory.
A lot of big, and yes, man, a lot of big films. It's really recognizable too. So it's at the point like I'd say the hotspot of LA that's really recognizable is the observatory.
Yeah.
But Jenkins Griffith is what Griffith Park is named after.
Okay.
And he was an entrepreneur who was into oil in San Francisco. He came down to LA. I
didn't know there was money in oil. Please continue.
I know, right?
Strange.
I look at the gas stations. I'm like, that's very cheap.
Yeah. How are they making any profit? These guys are insane.
This man was the epitome of a man who wanted to give to society, but he had major issues.
Okay.
And his major issues was he was a huge alcoholic. He drank like a bottle of whiskey, apparently a night.
Okay.
And he wanted to give to the city of LA. And it got to this point where he got so insane. He was in Santa Monica vacationing with his wife, and he was convinced his wife was having an affair with the Pope, which is ridiculous.
Say what?
Just like convinced the Pope was sleeping with his wife. And of course she denied it because it's a crazy thing.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Vatican City.
Yep.
That Pope.
Of all people to be swinging with.
Yeah, he's taking a night flight, a red eye out to LA to bang this guy's wife and then going back to...
And this is like early 1900s, so that Pope is more reserved than the current Pope.
He's taking a boat out to LA.
He took a pistol and shot her through her left eye. Mm-hmm. And she jumped out the window in reaction and broke her arm and got a carriage and got away. And she survived. The bullet passed right through her, and he went through a horrendous divorce. He was in prison for like 6 years. But when he came back...
That doesn't sound like a horrendous divorce. That sounds like the lawyers would have a...
divorce.
Yeah, that would be a very graceful divorce if you shoot your wife in the eyeball.
I think he had one kid, and in the divorce, he had to pay for the kid's college tuition, which is typical. And he came back, and he essentially was so regretful, he gave the city Griffith Park because it was his property, and he was trying to do an ostrich farm. He was trying to get like attraction to it.
Yeah.
And he gave it as a place for people to go to relax because he knew LA was becoming a big city. And LA hated him. They didn't like him at all. He wanted to give the park and the observatory, and he wanted a statue of himself. So in his will, he put that because LA wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
So LA built the park and the observatory when he was alive.
Did they find a loophole? Like he never said how tall it had to be. It's a 1-inch statue.
What they did was they waited for him to die. And 10 years after he died, they built a statue of him.
Okay.
So never in his life did he ever get to see a statue of him.
But it's a full-size statue. Yep. They didn't
If you go
him.
to Griffith Park, you'll see it. There's a big statue. He looks like a Teddy Roosevelt looking guy.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That is an amazing story.
I know. I used to tell it as we were talking earlier, that hike, that steep part. I used to tell it during that.
Safety advice for anyone coming to LA doing a jog in Griffith Park: do not go for a jog in Griffith Park at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the sun is blazing hot. If it's above
80,
it's a desert. Remember, you're in a desert. Rest in peace, Sally.
I used to have to pace my breathing with my talking.
Yep. I believe it.
It was such a strange talent,
I believe it.
But I nailed it by the end.
You ready?
Yep. There we go.
There we go. Welcome to the Hollywood Fishbowl. You pick first. Let's see what we're into.
All right. Let's see what we got. So we got Better Than.
Better Than.
This says...
Here's the theme music for Better.
This says, pop culture just ain't what it used to be. In fact, it's better. What have you been diving into recently?
Yeah. Oh, and I had... Hold on. The thing, whenever I hear this music, all I can think of is like, 80s and 90s catchphrases. So what we're going to do is, as it plays, we're just going to alternate. I'll say one, then you say one. Just make them up as we go, quick as you can, gnarly, bogus, whatever it is. And we got 30 seconds on the clock. You ready?
All right.
Here we go. Gnarly!
Get to the chopper!
Excellent!
All right!
Shell-shocked!
Awesome!
And it can really be anything. Cryptocurrency!
Shoulder pads!
Ebb and flow of the ocean!
Wet pussy!
That was vulgar.
Ooh, curse words.
Ho, 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 I'm coming to town.
Oh, I'm in the door.
Gnarled trees.
Surfing.
There we go. All right, pop culture. What have you been watching? What's good? And I think we can skip over Infinity Wars.
Yes.
The universe does not need any more commentary on that one.
I did enjoy it, but I'm content with it now.
Okay.
Recently,
what's good? What have I missed that I must see?
I just started
Or
a
read.
show. I'm a big fan of Big Bill Hader, and I just started a show, Barry.
Is it good?
It's very, very
I was terrified it wouldn't be. I am also a big fan of Bill Hader.
It's brilliant in the fact that it's a character that's kind of against his type, and it's a good challenge for him. A character that's not funny and more serious and more dangerous, which is funny because Bill Hader is the complete opposite of that.
That's like, why would you hire him for not funny?
Exactly.
He's the funniest guy working right now.
Exactly.
So,
and it's a brilliant, and it's more of the Bill Hader is great in a show, but it's the epitome of being an actor in LA current time. The things, because he's a hitman who wants to be an actor. Mm-hmm. So what he's doing to be an actor, and seeing the actors and actresses go through rejection, success, acting class, it's very, especially for me, it's very relatable.
okay, so I should check that one out.
course.
I'm a massive Bill Hader fan.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know, he writes for South Park.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
I did not know
he's in
that.
the writer's room.
Oh.
That's like kind of, I think, their secret weapon.
I think
So yeah, how they do that is they all bang ideas back and forth, and I think Bill pitches a lot of
Nice.
jokes, and then Trey just disappears and comes back with the script. However much
He's
Vinny-
one of the guys, I want him to kind of pull Nutty Professor. Just do a film where he plays every character.
Oh, I thought you meant like remake the Nutty Professor. Which I don't need. If you want that, you can have
Well,
it.
I would not. I mean, I would watch it.
Whatever it is, I'm all in with him. He's
if they
good.
said Nutty Professor, but with Bill Hader, I think people would come to the
I'd be
theater.
there. I'd go. I have nothing to add to this conversation. I'm catching up on the classics. I got Alien. I just watched that.
Oh yeah,
this week.
I've been doing a lot of the classics too.
And had a nightmare. Any good classics? What should we recommendation station?
Recently, just watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
So, which was your favorite? The good, the bad, or the ugly?
So the bad.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I found out that actor. I'm missing his name, but that actor was born in the same hospital I was, and he died a year before I was born.
Which hospital?
Somerville Hospital
Aw.
in New Jersey.
I don't have it right here. I had my birth certificate here a minute ago. I'm a recent import to LA, so I've had to do a lot
That's
of
right,
paperwork
yep.
with my birth certificate. Riverside 4455 Magnolia. Brr, brr, brr. Oh, hold on. Sorry, this is just it takes a little minute, but where were you born again? And say it excitingly.
I was born in Somerville, New Jersey.
There it is. It's very quiet. Sorry.
Actually, I like it at that volume.
Let's try that once more. Where were you born?
Somerville, New Jersey.
All right, we got it in there. I try to get one ham horn in at least per episode.
All right.
Enough of that. How lucky for us.
Ooh.
We are so lucky to be joined by Swinky, my wife, via satellite uplink. So the satellite uplink takes a little minute to load. So what I'm going to do is we've got like a little bit of theme music to play. Let's make sure she's on the line while this theme music is playing. If you'll excuse us, audience, for a moment. Here we go.
Everybody now hold somebody and tell them that you love them. I love you. Lift your hands together and praise the Lord.
All right. Looks like the uplink is working, and we've got Swinky on the line. Isn't that a nice song? You
That's
like
a
that
very
one?
beautiful song.
It's a good way to remember your metrics. And hey, Swinky, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Hi, thanks for having me. Sorry I can't be there, but at least we have this satellite uplink.
That's okay, love. We're here with Ryan. I met him on hello. I met him. What did we meet on?
Wine Country.
That's what it was. We met on Wine Country, the Amy Poehler movie, not the Amy Schumer movie. You got any questions for Mr. Ryan? You want to jump in here?
So, how's your life?
My life is it's good.
Oh, okay. Quick and to the point. I respect that, man.
Are you one of those people who have jogging outfits and they have sunglasses and caps and they run and look LA?
Well, looking LA is just something I'm slowly achieving.
Doesn't it happen automatically? Like,
for most people,
yeah.
Yes.
Because you get here and you have to buy a pair of sunglasses, and it's going to be the ones they sell in LA, and then you got to buy some clothing, and it's going to be the clothing they
You
sell
can't
here.
wear your winter jacket because you'll just sweat.
Yep. But do you run?
I do. I do about 15 miles a week.
The what?
15 miles a week.
That's a lot.
Yep, I do.
5 3-minute sets or 3 5-mile sets?
I do. Every other day I lift weights, and every other day I run 5 miles, and it's about a good 40 to 43 minutes.
Okay, that's fast. That's not bad at all. I'm doing 3 miles in 29 minutes or so.
Oh, that's
it's
not too bad.
It's the Griffith Park. It's the up and down.
Yep.
So there's
I'm running here in Glendale, which is not great, but I do have to stop occasionally.
Yeah.
I'm asking because Pew is turning into one, and I'm trying to find out if it's something that happens once you land in LA.
I'd say yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
You become LA once you get to LA.
Do you have friends?
I have some friends, not as many as most, and I think the difficulty with me is that I swear New York people and LA people are very different.
Wait, how do you mean?
I'm very convinced LA people are very flaky and New York people are not.
Really?
Yes.
Can I disagree with you humbly?
Okay. Yeah.
Knowing full well that I respect your opinion, I've found LA people to be really hungry. Like, as long as it's work and acting related, they jump all in.
That's where I will agree with you. If it's not, they will not really bat an eye.
Yeah. Any other questions, Swink? Any other thoughts on
Do
your
you
mind?
take 5-minute showers to save water because LA is a desert?
Sometimes it's like 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Showers.
Do you run the timer?
No.
Okay. Yes, no question gets a yes, no answer. All right. I think we're winding down on this one. Is it okay if we cut you off, Swinky? Is that fine? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, then we're gonna wrap this one up. Is that okay?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Swinky.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
All right. If we can get one more song as we hang up this phone call, you got one more you want to sing?
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Can you pay my automobiles? I don't think you do. So you and me are through.
Thank you, darling. We're going to hang up the call. That was beautiful. We're going to ring the bell. You can pick the next one.
All right.
I love her very, very much, and I'm so glad she could come on this program.
Very talented, and the lyrics are just addicting.
What you got there?
New known. So what did you learn recently that you had no idea about?
Oh, new known. Yeah, like everybody learns something sometimes. Everybody. What have your eyes been open to that they were henceforth until now closed to upon bad sentence fails?
Wow, the sentence keeps going.
I was hoping that more words would fix it. They did not.
Correct, redundant. I'm also a writer. I actually.
Wait, you're a writer?
Yep.
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
I'm complicated. I told you. I just wrapped my second novel.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You told me earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were on set and you did mention that. When people say I'm a writer, I always think screenplays. I forgot it was novels.
No, yeah. I do kind of plan to pitch them as films, but I want to keep them as novels first and publish them as novels.
A very novel idea.
I know, don't you
Hold
say?
on. Do I have applause anywhere on here?
Let's try this.
All right. So I do have that.
Okay.
I can use whenever I want.
A novel idea.
You want to, oh wait, no, we'll save that for later. There's another one in the Fishbowl, crappy pitches.
Oh, crappy
Well,
pitches.
let's do your novel let's not file that under crappy pitches.
Yep,
Let's talk about your novel. Do you want to talk the premise, the log line?
So, I'll talk the log line and I'll talk about the new knowledge I achieved.
Okay, yeah.
So there's two, and the log line for the first one, my first novel took 8 years and my second novel took 8 months.
Is your first novel 12 times better than your second novel?
No, the second novel is 3 times better than the first one.
Exactly 3? Yes. If I read it and it's 3.5, I'm throwing it through the window, just so we're clear.
You can burn it on my request.
Okay. Is it better? Is it actually good?
It is. What I do like about them, though, is they're not sequels, but they're in the same universe. So they have interlocking characters and themes and even history that's kind of in the same world.
Now let's get a little AB on your ass if we can.
I'll take a C.
What was not so good about the first novel that was much better in the second novel? Like what did you figure out in the interim?
Well, the big thing I figured out was because the first novel took 8 years, took 5 rewrites and 7 edits, and the second novel took only 8 months because I edited as I wrote the chapters.
Oh, okay. Now, you doing a full-blown outline at the beginning, or do you write forward?
I actually don't. I kind of just go with it. I did a lot of improv in college, and that's kind of a good way. I get a notebook, and I just kind of like improv writing of like what I'd like to see, and then I go to the keyboard and I write.
That's one of the weirdest things. It is in the last 6 months, I realized, like, why don't I just write what would surprise and entertain me?
Something that's addicted to you, but something that keeps you going. Like these 2 books, if I didn't write them and I had amnesia, I would be their biggest fans.
That's how I feel about my music. Man, we're going to break our arms patting ourselves on the back we keep it up.
We are so... the bummer is recently I did get a publisher, but I just dropped them.
Wait, what? Is this part of what you learned? Was it the publisher was not on your side?
This actually, this is part of, I do have another fact, but this is part of what I did learn. So I waited 7.5 months to get a response from this publisher. And last August, I spent 2 months getting a letter of referral from my teacher from college and redoing the novel and catering it to their, what they wanted. And they said their editors were volunteers, which was not a good sign.
That's a red flag number 1.
And so my first novel, they're both sci-fi fantasy.
Okay.
The first novel is very much sci-fi fantasy adventure. The second novel is very much a horror. It's much darker and it's a bit cruder. And she thought...
Would you describe yourself as a rude, crude dude with attitude?
Depends on the hour.
Okay. Back to the topic at hand.
But she did some notes, and the biggest red flag was she wrote down these chapters should be shorter because the children would get tired. Okay. And I said, these are not meant for children. And that was my sign of, this is not going to work out, and I need to find someone else.
What age children was she thinking?
I don't know.
Was she thinking it was like a young adult and you were writing for adult? Or was she like, this is a Dr. Seuss?
I don't know.
Equivalent.
The first book is 342 pages. The second book is 600.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for kids to read something that big and yet not that enjoying to their, their imagination, I guess.
Yeah. If they're not having fun, I mean...
Exactly. They're going to be more scared than anything else.
Yeah.
But the thing I learned, which I added in my newest novel, is that the first primates ever to walk this earth were lemurs.
The what?
The first primates ever to walk the earth were lemurs.
And they're still around?
Yep, and they're still around. Apparently, they're a little endangered. But it essentially means that since man has come from primates, and that... we've essentially started in Madagascar, and then we went to Africa, and we evolved into man, and then we spread across the world. So we have to thank lemurs for that. But that, I was thinking the other day at a Facebook status that said this fact, and then I said, so if there's a god amongst men, it's probably a lemur, and that just makes Zumafu, that show, a whole different meaning.
I don't know what Zumafu is, but I do like the idea of God walking the earth in lemur form.
In lemur form, exactly.
Yeah.
Zumafu was a children's show about animals, and it was a puppet lemur talking and like educating you on the animal.
So that was the one thing you learned, the big thing, and then the other stuff about we got them both.
The big thing, what I did with it was I made a character in my second novel, a ancient lemur.
Oh.
Which I thought was very fun.
That is. Do average humans have access to this here novel of which you speak?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm still working on them. I'm kind of going through a boat because I actually got this news yesterday that I dropped the publisher.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of...
I like how you get the news that you dropped the publisher.
I know, right? I sent a very stern email.
Okay. I would love to see that. I've sent some stern emails in my day, and the fewer stern emails I send, the better my life goes. So I'd love to see what...
exactly.
how you worded it.
So I'm in the process of finding a new route, and my grandmother actually wrote a short story and got it published, and what she did was she went to a writer's conference, and she met someone who... and at the spot who paid her and took her short story. So there's that. And last year I emailed publishers log lines. So I'm kinda-
Any bites? Any nibbles on the hook?
last year I just got this one publisher, but now I have 2 novels instead of 1, so I'm gonna pitch both of them.
Okay.
And see where I go.
Are you cooking a third one? I mean, that's what all the listeners are wondering right now.
The
Is
third,
when's...
so these 2 guys aren't sequels, but they're in the same universe. The first novel they're kind of in the same timeline, but just separated. And the third novel, I want to conclude both stories.
Okay,
So
and
kinda-
do they come together a little bit, or in a major way?
Yep, they come together in a major way.
Okay, it's not like at the end they're both driving down the highway and they look over. Hey, you look like you're doing okay.
It's very much like 2 different cars driving down the highway, and it's like, oh, I didn't know we were on the same highway.
Look at that. What do you
Look
know?
at that. Right.
You know, you are allowed to ding the thing.
That's right. I've been having too much fun talking.
And when you give it a ding, you gotta pull out a thing.
Yeah, let's pull out a thing. Hopefully it's not a wet thing.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Saucy.
Here we go. So, jokes.
Jokes. Yeah, I love jokes. I mean, like, bad, like, do you know why? Like, for toddlers, I like that kind of joke.
Yeah.
You got a good one?
I do. It's a bit of a story joke, and it's a bit dirty.
A boring, should I bring up the boring story music?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let's
that'd
do
be
it.
good.
Let's see.
Let's do it.
Yeah, give us some pathos. Give us the voice.
Okay. So, Superman is flying around Metropolis, and as he's flying, he sees Wonder Woman all nice on one of the skyscrapers, tanning,
Hubba.
and she's naked.
Ooh.
And Superman goes, "Oh my goodness, I'm being wooed by this Wonder Woman. She doesn't even know it." And he's flying there, and he's thinking, "I kind of want some of that Wonder Woman. How can I?
Who wouldn't in this scenario?
How can I do this?" And so he thought, I'm Superman. I could go in, go out. I'm faster than a bullet. I can, and she won't even notice. So he's like,
Wait, to intercourse?
Intercourse.
He's going to...
Superman intercourse.
Okay, please continue.
So what he does is he flies in, does his business, has fun, leaves with a smile, and Wonder Woman sits up and goes, "What the hell was that?" And the Invisible Man goes, "I don't know, but my ass is killing me."
Oh, saucy.
I told that to my roommates and they didn't get it.
That's really naughty.
It's
That's
pretty,
a naughty
it's
joke.
a naughty one.
And I won't be able to ever tell that to my nephews. So,
Nope, sorry.
You want to hear the joke? Here's a joke.
Yes.
It's a political one.
Okay.
So get ready. I'm about
Yep.
to spit fire on this administration.
Yep.
How many sitting U.S. presidents does it take to screw in a light bulb? There was no collusion. The end.
It's a different taste, but I do like that one.
It's a dumb joke. And I'm out of jokes.
All right.
What have we got in here? You know, we might have to work on that joke. That wasn't a really interesting format, was it? That was kind of...
I've never been one for jokes. I always tell stories.
I love jokes. Just as dumb as they can be, I enjoy
too.
them all.
If you could put a lot of fake laughter behind it, it makes it funnier.
Hold on. Can we put a whole lot of fake laughter behind it? I don't think we have that.
Oh no.
No, we don't have.
I had a friend from
high
high school who told the worst jokes, but it was funny because he thought they were hilarious.
I had a friend like, oh, let's load up boring stories. So back when I was in high school, we had a friend. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to throw him under the bus.
Of course.
Wait, what was the point? Oh, he had a joke. This was a joke he made up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell it to you, and we'll see if you get it.
Okay.
And this will be the last joke we tell in jokes, and then we'll go on to the one I picked out.
Sounds good.
So a guy was driving down the street, and he saw another guy, and the guy that saw the other guys started laughing. The guy in the car who was driving.
Yep.
Can you guess why he was laughing?
He was a clown?
No, you're way off. Because the guy on the street was drinking a sun-kissed orange soda, and the guy driving the car was gay and thought that the can said butt-kissed. And that's the joke.
Nothing like a good butt kisser joke.
There's always one in high schools who tells a joke that he thought it was hilarious. Anyway, this is one I've been waiting for a long time, and judging by the time, this is our last segment before we get into this is our second to last segment, our penultimate segment. So,
Ooh, okay.
Deadlines. Look up your favorite news site and exchange headlines with as many Crypt Keeper-style puns as you possibly can think of. Discuss news articles in the same fashion.
Oh, okay.
So for this Oh, we're still going.
We're still
So
going.
For this one.
Back when I was a lad.
For example, the gentleman investigating the president
Yes.
is Robert Mueller. If we were going to talk about him, he might become Robert Gooler.
Ooh.
So do you have your phone handy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, load up your favorite news site, and unless you don't like news, in which case you're at a disadvantage.
My news site, to be honest, is usually Reddit.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, if there's news. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, this is the first time we've done this segment. I have no idea if it'll work. We're just going to go, we're going to jump in with both feet.
All right.
And if we fall on our faces, we have the bell that can go ding, and we're safe. We're out. I'll go first. I'm going to load up TMZ, and you've got Reddit news loaded up. So, welcome to the, let me check if we have some rainy night sound effect. That's not gonna work.
Ooh.
That's okay. We'll loop that one and.
Ooh.
You like the mood, dude?
Spooky.
Well, I've got a terror tale for you, little goosebump ghoulies. Cardi Boo has gone makeup free. Wait till you see her rocking a totally bare face. Yes, that's right. On TMZ, Cardi Boo has makeup-free photographs of herself.
That's frightening.
I know. Let's pass it over to Ryan. Ooh, that's a little spooky. The ghost sounds. Yes. Just pull a headline and let us have it.
Ooh.
I think you're buying yourself some time, Ryan.
There are new, more desperate to hires. More businesses open door to many of those spooky pot smokers.
I'm a little confused. What was the headline about?
A lot of desperate businesses are opening their doors.
Don't you mean desperate boozenesses?
That's right, desperate boozenesses.
Oh, this is very scary. Are opening their doors to
pot smokers.
To perennial pot smokers.
The Mary Janes.
Mischievous marijuana.
Yes.
I can't think of a ghost word that's monsters. The mischievous marijuana monsters are getting in the door at businesses. Very scary.
But on that note,
you nuked it. That was worth nuking. I think that was definitely not the best segment we've done. Deadlines might not be back in the bowl in the future.
Always good to try new things.
Yeah, we'll leave it in. Maybe it works with someone who's a little more spooktacular than you, Ryan. I'm
not too spooky. I mean, in my writing I am, but in person,
no, you're not.
Charming.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when you came in. Like this guy will never be a host or a guide at the Haunted Mansion.
No, it could be fun, but people wouldn't feel in danger.
Yeah, I would see him more as a Prince Charming. So, moving on, we're coming up to the bap boop bap. I'm good at this.
Oh, beep bada boop.
The table read. Did you happen to bring a script?
I did not.
Interesting. That's okay, because I have one prepared.
All right.
So the last thing I like to do is we're having talent on. Like everybody who comes on is trying to make it as an actor. So what we do is a table read. It's a 2-person scene, and we just do the scene so that people can get some idea of what you're like at a cold read.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hold on, let me reach over.
Go gadget arm.
Okay. So there's a scene I've got picked out, and this is picked out specially for you. Ooh, definitely nice. Not a repeat that we do in every episode. Have you seen the movie Showgirls?
I don't think I have.
Oh, let me load up the table read music. That's pretty funky.
That's 70s.
So, Showgirls, are you aware of Showgirls at all?
I think I'm aware of them.
Okay, it's a movie where... that's enough of that. It's a movie. Elizabeth Berkley plays a dancer who wants to be dancing at a Las Vegas hotel, a topless review. LA's own Gina Gershon plays Crystal Connors, who is the resident star of the hotel's show. Elizabeth Berkley plays Nomi Malone, who is not LA's own Gina Gershon. I like these names a lot.
I think I do too.
I enjoy saying them.
Nomi Malone.
Have you seen the movie Heat?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
this is essentially the De Niro and Pacino diner
very nice.
scene. This is Showgirl's version of that, where Nomi Malone, the young up-and-comer, the protagonist of the film, is sitting across a table from Crystal Connors, the antagonist of the film.
Okay.
They're face-to-face. They're finally trying to recognize each other as whatever they are. This is it. This is the moment. This is their face-to-face. You will be playing Crystal Connors.
Okay.
And I will be playing Nomi Malone.
Sounds good.
Just do your best with the dialogue that you haven't read it before. I think we'll make this for a more fun time.
Sounds good.
Takes place in a dining room, so there we go. We got some dining room ambience, and we're gonna class it up a little bit. Is that okay?
Sounds good. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
The right amount.
Yeah. So, interior, fancy restaurant evening. Nomi, that's me, and Crystal
That's me.
are sitting at a table, both holding menus. What is this stuff?
I'll order for you.
I'll have brown rice and vegetables.
Do you like brown rice and vegetables?
Yeah,
You do.
sort of.
Really?
It's worse than dog food. It is.
I've had dog food.
You have?
A long time ago, doggy chow. I used to love doggy chow.
I used to love doggy chow too. Jump in time. Crystal's pouring some champagne a little bit later in the meal. Yeah, Crystal's pouring the champagne. Did I say Crystal?
Yes.
Okay. I get a headache from champagne.
Well, this isn't champagne. This is holy water. I named myself after this holy water. Chrissy Lou Connors had dingy brown hair and little baby tits. It's amazing what paint and a surgeon can do.
They clink glasses and sip the champagne.
You have great tits. They are really beautiful.
Thank you.
I like nice tits. I always have. How about you?
I like having nice tits.
How do you like having them?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I like having them in a nice dress or a tight top.
You like to show them off?
I didn't like showing them off at the Cheetah.
Why not? I liked looking at them there. Everybody liked looking at them there.
It made me feel like a hooker.
You are a whore, darling.
No, I'm not.
We all are. We take the cash, we cash the check, we show them what they want to see.
Maybe you are a whore, Crystal, but I'm not.
You and me, we're exactly alike.
I'll never be like you.
Whew, that was deep, good stuff.
All right, we'll turn off the minuetto. That's a good scene. I think you did well.
No, that was a very good scene. I very much enjoyed that.
And the reason I love that scene so much is because if you can make it through with a straight face, if you can stay in character through that bonkers dialogue, you have my respect as an actor, as a talent.
A lot going on with that dialogue.
Oh yeah. Didn't you just feel the pathos, the ethos, and the mythos all come together?
I told the tits. That's what I found.
I look. Here's the thing: is the reason I picked it is because I like having nice tits.
It's a good uncomfortable dialogue that really tests to see how someone can continue to deliver it without truly succumbing to the uncomfort.
Yeah. There's a reason I chose it. That's not accidental. All right, I think we are just winding down. Is that okay? Are you comfortable with winding down?
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Then the last cue of the program. This is the portion of the program where we say a warm thank you and a heartbreaking goodbye to our guest. Of course, if you enjoyed this episode, you can find more. We're on Instagram at HW Fishbowl. We're on Twitter at HW Fishbowl. And you can find us at sunshinepicturesllc.com/, you guessed it, HW Fishbowl. Now, It's not about me. It's about the guest. Ryan, do you have a Twitter, Instagram? And where can people find more about you?
About me.
About you.
You can find me at my Instagram, and that is Shuki Baby, which is...
Is it now?
It was my nickname.
Was it now?
It was.
How would you spell Shuki Baby?
It's SHUKIBABY, and then the number 61. And you can find my drawings. I like to draw. And on the weekends, I do character gigs as Prince Charming, as Darth Vader, as Kylo Ren, Captain America, Mad Hatter. And you can find pictures
All at
of
the
that
same
there.
time?
Sometimes I'm that schizophrenic.
Quite a load you're bearing.
Yes.
So Shuki Baby 61,
Shuki
not
Baby
the year you were
61.
born?
Nope. That's just because I'm 6'1".
Oh, so you're that's like Roy's 5'9".
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're clear.